All right. Hey, better.
What up?
Hey.
We got a live studio audience.
Yes, we do. Welcome, guys, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Am I leaving anything else out? Welcome to the HotPot, guys. Thank you for joining us today. We have an interesting episode for you today. This is episode 22 of the HotPot podcast. And there's a whole host of interesting topics that we have to cover today. In the studio today, we got Chaz, the main man, coming back from the dead. Resurrected. And you know, I am your lovely host, Pierre, and we're here to make a killing today, guys.
Dang.
I worked on that intro. I
didn't know he was committing.
Hey, man.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, but let's get straight into these topics. But guys, before we start, make sure you check into the hotpotstudio.com. That way you can search all the interesting episodes that you love to watch. And also you'll be able to pick up merch from the HotPot directly from us. So when you buy, you know, you feed us, you know, you make us feel good.
The support.
So, yeah, show for the support. But anyways, Chaz, it's been too long. Too many has happened.
I haven't seen you in that chair. It feels like it's been a minute.
And I know it feels like it's been too long. But we had the episode that happened out in Houston.
Yeah.
Pretty good episode.
Yeah, the guys looked like they had a good time, man.
It would have been good to have your perspective on some of the stuff. We were talking about the moon landing.
Space?
Now,
Hey,
do
man.
you think
No.
Hey, no, you gotta tell us.
No.
Because so far we're one up on the conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theorists are up one, and the mainstream media, U.S. government are down.
Y'all funny.
Man, so
Y'all funny. I want to say something. Y'all ain't not once mentioned money. not once did y'all mention money.
hey, but we gonna mention money today.
Y'all
done
mentioned no money. Oh, man.
No, I think we talked about crypto. I mean,
No. In relation to space.
In what way?
I think the biggest thing that propelled us to space was to kind of one up the other superpower of the world.
We were talking about that.
They threw money. They threw money, unconceivable amounts.
Yeah.
And then they threw it away with every single launch. So it's like, we don't need to do that anymore.
It's like burning money. yeah. Same thing when you drive a non-fuel efficient car. Like you're just burning. You just burning. Stockpile of cash just burning. But anyways, guys, we're gonna get into a few topics, guys. And as of just recently, we had Red Bull BC1 World Finals, guys.
Yo, 2024.
That's actually the real
Dang.
reaction that we should have for it, because it's been very controversial, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've definitely seen what y'all been saying online for sure.
All right. So I guess a few things that I want to outline. So obviously, Red Bull BC1 World Finals just happened. Mm-hmm. We have two winners, India, right, and Menno getting his next dub.
Record fourth belt.
Shout out Menno and India, because
They put in work for sure.
yeah. But other than that, I also want to say shout out Icy Eyes, man, because
Energy.
he made a killing.
Energy, dynamics, musicality. One of the most musical dancers on that stage that whole day. So,
But I want to say this. All right, so we had Rebel BC1, Icy Eyes t-shirt. Someone ran after his t-shirt. I don't know who that person was. Red Bull BC1 versus Monster. Is there a bias? So we'll go into this Red Bull topic, guys. Obviously, you've seen the battles, and we have a particular thought about the battles. And I just want to say, I don't know if the whole Red Bull BC1 is against the culture type of conversation. I don't know if that's pretty much the right sentiment. From the way that it looked, I would say that I think Menno did end up winning.
So wait, hold on. Wait, because you threw that sentence out there.
Yes, I did.
The culture. I was like, what does that mean? Where are you coming at that?
Well, so like, so what I want to say is that, pretty much the essence, the soul of breaking, let's just say the scene. So the scene itself is kind of coming out, and they're kind of like pushing back and backlashing against the fact that Menno won his 4th Red Bull BC win. And a lot of people feel like Icy Ives should have won. Granted, I do think Icy Ives did a great job, but I can see Menno actually winning that. I don't think that there was any like intention behind, the judge's decision. But I will say this. We definitely, if anything, if 2024 showed us anything, it definitely showed us that we need a judging criteria following the Olympics, because now anything could be scrutinized. So watching something like the Olympics, going into something like Red Bull, and they have this, high production value show that happens every year, it kind of shows that, they need to be pieced a little bit or they need to piece it a little bit better together.
There were a lot of split decisions that happened, over the course of the competition, and I don't think it's nothing necessarily wrong with split decisions.
Yeah.
But I think that just shows how close some of the battles were.
True that.
Now, as far as like the final, if we get straight into the final, it was incredible. There were some hype moments, but as far as the controversy, man, I feel like you could see one thing, and then kind of you can attribute things to favoritism that may or may not really be there. So for me, I saw a person who had never won a belt get to the finals on their first go in the finals.
That's
right?
True. Yeah. Icy Ives.
And somebody who had already won 3 belts.
Well, this is the thing. A lot of people are saying, Menno, like the older generation are kind of hogging, the spotlight.
Well, here's the thing that's happening with that, because you have a couple of different things that are happening right now, where you've got b-boys who are paying their way and making sure that they go out to jams and spending the time, the money, the resources, saying, I'm going to have a competition year, or I'm going to have a competition couple of years, and they're paying themselves in their way to go and do that, right? And you got people that take the spotlight and run with it and win their competitions over the course of a year, and then they go to their jams, and you might see them pop up at a few events later on, but they're not running the gauntlet every single year.
Yeah.
Whereas when you get a sponsored b-boy or a sponsored b-girl, you might see them pop up at several events throughout the years because they're sponsored over that period of time.
So wait. So what's the end point that you're trying to make with this?
They are paid to keep the competition up and the competition level up, and to appear and compete at competitions. Therefore, this is their job.
Yeah, this is their livelihood.
Yeah, this is their livelihood.
Like, they live in this, so obviously they're gonna always make it to the finals.
They're a working competitor.
But I would say the same thing about Monster too, to a degree. Red Bull is definitely, they're fully vested. Like, but I think
I have some gripes. I have some gripes with Monster.
Yeah.
To
fair.
me, it doesn't seem like Monster is truly serious, and they've had their ups and their downs with how they represent. Or
would you say that, or that their pockets aren't as deep as Red Bull?
More so that, because to me, when you see Red Bull everywhere. You see Red Bull dancers everywhere.
Yeah,
you see Red Bull dancers events everywhere. The branding is ridiculous. Monster, you see a patch every so often. The dancers make sure that they got they gear on, but at the same time, I'm like, Monster, when are you going to come out with a hype video with all your members? Like, who do we even know everybody that's on the team unless you're really looking for it? Like,
you're right.
I need some footage, something.
But there was a time where I think Monster had achieved its golden team. And that would have been when they had Jeffro, Gravity, Box One, Zeku, Maka, B-Boy Pocket, And I think Pocket's still part of Monster, but it's just like when some of these faces were more prevalent, and they were like on the forefront of Monster, of the Monster branding, then I think that was a time where Monster kind of outshined Red Bull at a particular point, to be honest.
Yeah, I just wonder what I feel like they probably need a goal or a direction right now. And I think they're doing that with some of the events that some of the other members in Monster are throwing.
Right.
We talked that they had Skills Talk last year, I believe. Was that partially affiliated
with Monster? I think so, possibly. Yeah. So but I have to look into it.
There's sponsorships and their members are doing things, but I feel like there's more media that can be coming out about that. But point being, right? When you talk about Red Bull hogging and some of the people that have hogged the finals, right? You got Hongton winning 3 belts. You got Minnow now on his 4th.
Yeah. Do you think it was deserved?
I can't say.
Like, do you feel like Minnow actually won that versus Ives in that battle?
Yes, I don't think that's like controversial to say. If you look at the rounds, there's a margin of error there that you could say either one won. In my opinion, Minnow did win, and it was really just because of Ives' third round and the consistency that Minnow had that really took him over. Okay. But at the same time, I think a lot of people, and myself included, are tired of seeing roly-polies okay, roll around on the stage.
All right. Well. So we're saying that there's no bias, right? Last year, we had Jeffro go into the bracket, and he went against Khalil. Do you think that there were biases there?
There was definitely a bias when it comes to the audience. So I don't know. Maybe there was too much hype in the room.
Man, there was definitely bias.
There was too much hype in the room.
Yeah, there was a lot of bias.
Khalil over there just looking at the crowd.
Well, I mean, I want to say like this because like you're seeing all of the Olympic level athletes compete at a particular level, and then you see some of the Red Bull people. They come out and when it came to qualifying for the Olympics, because what I would say is that the Olympic level qualification much harder than what I saw from Red Bull, 100 times. But the thing is, people who performed in Red Bull, like, you have the Khalils, you have some other Monster B-boys, and shout out to all of y'all because y'all dope. But none of them had qualified. And to see someone like Jeffro, lose in the top 16 against Khalil, and Khalil didn't even qualify for the Olympic, but Jeffro made it out of like probably the most competitive country.
Yeah. That
only had one last spot and lose to Khalil in the top 16 screamed bias to me. I'm not going to say like, I know like whether or not it was. I don't know what the inner workings of like how Red Bull came about this. And this is particularly why I say we need to standardize judging, because if we're able to critique and see that on the Olympic level, anything that comes after that, and if you're not doing it, then you kind of fall behind. It just looks like, well, all right, now you guys are going back to opinions.
So one thing is dancing, the judging is subjective, but at the same time, if we had guidelines about this stuff, then you could at least point to a reason why something
facts
contributed to somebody's actual victory or not. I'm personally not standing for judges that can't tell you why you won or didn't win.
Or tell you that you should have won.
Yeah.
And the judges that tell you should have won.
Like, hey, bro, you should have won that. Why didn't you vote for me?
Yeah,
right.
Like,
come on, dog.
All right, but let's talk about Icy Ives, man. I saw, I mean, look, Icy, you killed it, man. And just wow. You overcame a lot of the odds. And I mean, man, we really want to give you a shout out for real.
Biggest shout out because I have a thought on this past year's BC1. It was in my opinion, it was one of the sloppier BC1s in terms of dancing and
Red Bull BC1 2024?
Yeah, the finals 2024. I don't know if anybody else was watching this and kind of felt this way, or if y'all were more hype or less hype, let me know. But I felt like this year felt a little bit less elite in terms of the showing that the dancers are giving out, in terms of musicality and in terms of cleanliness.
But everything is kind of going towards that robotic, that robotic look. Like, I feel like, and it kind of goes to our conversation that we had before, but it looks like the judges are willing to, scratch you off of the list, even for the most simplest of, slip ups. Now, I wouldn't even want to say slip up. It's just like uncleanliness. If the other person's cleaner, meaning, all right, let me try and break it down this way. If, let's say, for instance, we have a dancer who's like very dynamic, but you have your highs and lows like throughout the round. They have like these really large peaks, and then they have these valleys in their rounds. The energy is kind of like swinging up and down. And then you have another dancer who's just kind of like monotone, but they don't dare to try and be too risky. They don't try and like do the risky moves, but also they don't try and I guess they're just safe, right? And it looks like Red Bull, and I guess the entire scene in general, is kind of moving towards this. And I guess because Red Bull is a large portion of the scene, but it feels like the safer you are and the less, dynamic, you are in terms of energy in your round, and like less risky. It looks like they prefer that over the dynamic dancer. And it gets boring. Like to me, it gets boring because you see these people who like don't, they don't attempt any of the risks. They always try and remain a little bit safe and just clean, right? And then it kind of dilutes the entertainment value that we generally like to receive whenever we watch dancers.
Here's one thing I think that gets in the way of that is two pieces. When a person creates a set of movements and it actually is dope, and they got those things down to a T, to the point where they're not going to mess it up. Well, the jeopardy of like them completing that move and doing it on beat and all this other stuff doesn't really kind of hit you as hard as when like you seeing something you might not expect, or you see something actually being a strain on somebody's body. Like if somebody is throwing a crazy,
they're walking through things. What was it? B-Boy Rob. Yeah. Rob
had some, if y'all didn't watch the battle, Rob was going through some incredible movements, in my opinion. Incredible moves, but they all felt like he was just executing. And
like he was just, giving it a check mark.
Yeah.
And like just going from one thing to the next, but not a lot of the dancing in between that, some of the entertaining like dancers, like dancers, like people who actually dance.
It didn't feel like it had rhythm to it.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like it was to the song or to the music. And he lost points in a big way for me. But at the same time, I feel like he didn't lose enough points in the eyes of the judges for not really being as musical. The only time I've seen him music was in the final battle that he was in, where he got voted out. But at the same time, he hit the beat like 2 or 3 times in one round, more than
he had like previously. But I mean, Rob isn't the only breaker in this competition that I felt that did that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Menno was the same way?
Consistency.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned this to you the other day, where when you got your moves down to a point where you can make them look good, you can make them look interesting, and you can get it to the point where it doesn't matter what song you have. Well, sure, you might be able to be consistent, but you're not going to reach the peaks. And I think we just validated that strategy of, okay, being consistent, don't have to worry about the music too much if you can, hit 1 or 2 beats. And it's like, you see every other dance style, they are listening. They are listening just as much as they're dancing. And we don't do that. We're not doing that.
So, want to give a big shout out to the MVP. The MVP of Red Bull this entire weekend was I'm going to try that again. All right. I want to say the MVP was definitely Samuka. to me. So shout out Samuka. Actually, I didn't know Samuka could do a lot of these moves, but I would say Samuka's performance at Rebel BC1
shocked me the most.
Was probably my favorite. So I think Samuka should have won when he lost, but also I think other than that, what Samuka was doing was at a higher difficulty level than anyone else because of the fact, you know, this man is dancing with one leg, but at the same time he was doing drills. Like, and people don't understand, like, in order to like maintain that type of balance, you need both your legs in order to do that. But this man was doing drills. He was doing power combos, footwork, top rock. Samuka, man, this man is executed. This man's a G.
Execute and dancing. That man was top rocking. Top rocking. Yeah. I don't know if he was top rocking, doing backflips, doing all this stuff. And we've seen Samuka perform at a high level, but it came across as a surprise to me that he not only competed at the finals, you know, the Rebel BC1 finals, the supreme highest level of breaking that has been for the last, 20 years, but he was thriving in that. Low key, he basically beat men on my opinion.
I think this should have been Samuka's Red Bull BC1. I think Samuka should have taken it. But it would be interesting to see if they had like a Paralympic category for like all the breakers who qualify for that particular category. But I just also don't know that there's enough talent that reaches that type of level of Samuka. Because Samuka honestly is... He's just as good, if not better, than all the other people who entered into the breaking.
Well, I mean, he showed it. He battled and won against people fully able-bodied. Like, now I'll say this: I feel like Hero 10 is just doing side quests now after not getting into the Olympics.
Yeah, so Hero 10 grabbing the crutch, right, and doing the burn with it. Do you think that is more frowned upon than you should get points for? Like honestly, it's a burn, right? But do you think it's a burn where people are like, oh, I'll give you credit, or one of the burns that's like, I don't know how I feel about that.
So if you're an outsider, maybe, but I don't know. Hero 10, especially in this competition, in many competitions, but especially this one, seemed like he was just there to have fun. I honestly don't know if he really cared about winning. This man came in there to have fun. I think, and started doing wild stuff. And Samuka did those windmills with
he did crutch. With the crutch, yeah.
And Hero 10 was
wait. Did he do it before Hero?
Yeah.
Then I don't really know if I would give the points to Hero for that burn. Because if he just did it with the crutch and then you're like, oh, I could do it too, and you grab his crutch, but
a couple rounds later. But it was one of those things where I feel like it was a fun moment.
No, that's true.
It got people hyped, and I don't know whether or not you would say he would win for that or not. It definitely made it one of the funner. I mean, it's a top clip that they're sharing around right now, so it's definitely something that's fun.
So look, we're not throwing any shade. I'm not throwing any shade, but. Yeah, no one's throwing any shade at Hero 10 or anyone else who was throwing burns this weekend. What's a giant butt for?
You sound like you're about to say butt.
I was gonna say butt. Okay. I was just saying, like, look, we're not throwing any shade, and I just feel like from a lens of someone else who probably isn't a breaker, maybe they might look at it a little bit differently. They'll be like, I don't know how I feel about that, because I was just like, because whenever I try and watch some of these events, I look at it from, like a normal person's point of view, and I look at it from a breaker's point of view. And then like sometimes those ideas clash, and then I'm just like, how would someone else like kind of look at this when someone did this? Or like if, it's something like that.
He's taking his crutch, like how heartless.
Look, you know how sensitive the internet could be.
Hey, man.
You know how sensitive people could be, man.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, the sportsmanship was shown immediately afterward. So like, Hero went up to a
like we know what it is, because I mean, like I think it was sportsmanship all the way through, and I wouldn't ding any points from Samuka or.
But it definitely made you laugh and go, "What is going on?"
It definitely made me kind of like squint and then like look at it like this.
What?
And then I was like, all right, well, I guess not. But I think it was a really good burn, it, like coming in like as someone. But since Samuka did it first, I just think it diluted the burn a little bit because it's just like, well, he just did it. You didn't do it right off the bat. Someone else did it. Then you kind of like replicated what you just saw. So that's what I think.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
It definitely was embarrassing. Dude from Polsky Flavor at Freestyle Session.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Let's not go back to that.
So look, Kleju's one of my favorite. Kleju's one of my favorite dancers. But when you see like, and that
was so bad.
So this brings into the point that I was making earlier. When you look at things from a lens of someone else from outside of breaking, and you're looking in, when you see burns like people dry humping other men during, their rounds in public, it sometimes make people question. Like Sway even questioned it. He was like, "Wait, what was that? What did he just do?" He was just like, "Oh no, he burned him." He was like, "Wait, that's how you burn him?" It's just like, I was like, "Good luck trying to explain that."
Yeah.
Because there's no way to
no
try and explain that, me gyrating behind this man. Like behind this full grown man as being, I'm making fun of this guy. I just can't see it. People can't see it. So there's that. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it was just.
Guys, y'all let us know what y'all think. Do y'all think when people see burns, like people dry pumping them from behind, look like something that the average person would be like, I dig this. Like I don't think so.
Damn, bro.
Diddy party.
Hey man, hey. Breakers might need to be careful, bro. Might be on that list. I don't know.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Is
it still relevant to this point?
Yes.
Topic? Okay.
Did Quake do enough pops and push-ups? Or did he need more?
Quake? Honestly, I don't think Quake was really on my radar as much as he was. And then the Olympics, like when he kind of came through, I was like, okay, like he's kind of got a little bit, right? I thought his performance at Red Bull this year wasn't as good as what I saw at the Olympics.
No. And honestly, that's kind of what I'm getting to because he had the energy.
Yeah.
He was going off. And then it seemed like there was moments where he overstayed the move that he was doing. And I was like,
you're talking about... So,
bro, he hit that pop like 7 times, 8
Well,
times.
that's like the Bronco. Like we do that commando where we do Bronco effect.
Yeah, but like, I mean, to be honest, it's a little different than the Bronco. And it was on beat. But then he went like 3 or 4 beats too far after the
And he tried to repeat it later on in his round multiple times.
He did. And I was just like, it kind of made me think of the Hero 10 round 2 because it was just like, it seems like he's having fun. But at the same time, it's like...
Hero 10 was trying to go risky with it though.
I mean, he threw out some stuff that was like, that third round?
Yeah.
I don't know what he thought he was going to do with that, but...
Samuka, man, but Samuka outshined everyone, bro. Hey, don't be talking about my man like that, man. That man Samuka came out, man, swinging.
He should have won against Minnow, bro.
Yeah, he should have won against Minnow. But I thought his win against Hero 10 is also justified.
Yeah, no, very justified. But I just kind of find it funny how there was a couple of top 16 battles that felt, for lack of a better word, whimsical in a way. Like, y'all was just there to have fun. It just seemed like y'all was there to have fun. I was there for it, bro.
You got to explain the word to the people who don't know.
Whimsical? Look, y'all know what whimsical is, man. Y'all need to read a book. Come on. Look.
Hey, you're not going to critique them and not explain it. Whimsical.
They look like they was just out there having fun. Lollygag didn't really care necessarily about the win,
a little bit
but
aloof.
How it made them feel inside.
It's kind of like the Raygun dance challenge battle. It's all about how you felt rather than whether or not you played the part.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was fun to watch. It just felt a little unserious in my opinion, but you know.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Any final points on Rebel BC1?
I just want to re-highlight that. Shout out to the dancers that actually danced on beat into the music. It wasn't all of you, and the ones that did.
Wait, actually, so that actually makes me want to turn back to this point of music. Do you think the music was good? And I think it was either Nobunaga or, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, DJ Leg Oneer. I always say Leg Oneer because when I look at the SoundCloud, it's DJ and then it's like the numerical value 1 and then it's ONER. So I'm like Oneer or a DJ Leg Oneer.
I'm gonna have to go listen to this stuff, but I know Nobunaga was there and had a lot of Brazilian, traditional Brazilian song inspired beats.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I liked them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely was one of those things where you kind of had to put yourself in the mindset and in of the place. But at the same time, it kind of makes me think back to what's that other Rebel competition? The All Styles dance competition.
Oh, dang, why am I forgetting?
I know.
Dance Your Style?
Dance Your Style.
Yeah.
They had Dance Your Style in India, in Mumbai, right? And I know BC1 was there not too long ago. But they had this kind of crazy music section where MT Pop was hitting something to some Indian traditional sounding music and the crowd went nuts. And so I don't know if Red Bull was trying to kind of recreate that feeling with some of the break beats that were inspired by the Brazilian music and stuff like that. But it's something that had the potential to, and actually I think kind of did because I saw Samuka doing a little bit of samba style trying to hit the
he came out with that. And also, I want to just give a big shout out to Red Bull for the stage presence, the stage design, like overall, really great event. Yeah, like
leveling up the shots.
Like I really like. Yeah, finally they're not doing those satellite like pullaways like with the cameras
in the middle of the route.
Where it literally looks like 2 dots. Like, and it's like I don't know how many feet away from the stage it is. But shout out to the camera angles. I think the media did a lot better than what I've seen them do in the past. The stage design, I thought it was really dope. Having the greenery there. And just like the atmosphere, it kind of felt like you were in a jungle, like kind of in a way. Like you're like that's how it just came off to me.
Felt transported, man.
And you had like a little bit of the smoky feel like in the air and the atmosphere. Like so I thought that was really dope.
Showcasing a bit of the places.
They definitely came with a theme, and I think whoever did that, great job. Shout out to, and I know she probably wasn't the one that did it, but shout out to because I love to, and Lee, but yeah, I just overall like this event. I like how they brought it to the main audience, but yeah, hopefully looking forward to more and hoping that they correct a few of the mistakes that I've seen. Guys, I don't know why this lady keeps making the news, and I'm tired of talking about her, honestly. And, slow news week, right? But Raygun has decided to enter into
our minds again.
Indeed. Yeah. So Raygun pretty much entered into our minds again. And this was shared by the one and only Charles. Thank you, Charles.
And actually, I don't want to say shout out for sharing it necessarily, but shout out for sharing his thoughts. DJ Flegg has some thoughts on this.
Yeah.
And I saw the image in the article about.
But actually, let me say it. So Raygun is coming out and suing an Australian comedian for running a theatrical performance, a Raygun theatrical performance.
Raygun musical.
Yep.
Quote, Raygun music. Why? Why? Everybody used this. Why was it? Why? Bruh. Exactly. Please.
Why do we need... Look, there's so many reasons why we need the Raygun musical. And hey man, I don't think that your mind is open enough. Obviously, you haven't expanded your palette towards your art and creative soul.
Can you stop? Please stop. Please stop. We don't need this. Put it in a dumpster bin.
So this is a comedian who, I mean, she was threatened to be sued if she went forward and continued with the musical.
Raygun's lawyer reached out to the musical saying, "Hey, you can't."
Yeah, they sent them a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Right, and pretty much, apparently she has a patent to the kangaroo dance.
Bro,
Charles,
owning moves now. Now this
no, owning the kangaroo dance. That's my problem.
What?
That's my problem.
Why would you want it? Why would you want it?
Well, I saw there was a funny comment where they're like, this person who's trying to run this theater dance is trying to destroy Raygun's image, and
that's what's being argued. I mean, her image is
and they're like, you're doing that yourself.
It's already destroyed.
If you looked into the comment, they're like, she's doing it herself. Like,
and I think this is starting to put the final nail in the coffin for the people who've hoped for like any sort of like cool redemption, because one thing about it, let's say if I'm playing not devil's advocate, I guess devil's advocate in what we're talking about right now, but what if making fun of her is really all they're trying to protect, and these are the avenues that they're trying to use to protect from having a full production actually just make fun of her and make sure she continues to use her own image.
And I could see there being some mental health related issues with that, because it's like, man, the whole world is just laughing at
even
me,
just
right?
image protection.
Yeah.
Right. But this brings in a whole nother swath of issues and an idea that could be problematic, right? Owning the kangaroo, right? Owning that, number one, which Flowmaster and a bunch of others definitely put out the video to that.
Who was the one that put, was that directly from Flowmaster's Instagram account?
On somebody pulled up the YouTube of, it was Flowmaster, and I know Wicked was on the judging panel for an event that was like 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
So can Flowmaster actually
patent that move and sue Raygun?
Can he countersue for actual ownership of the kangaroo dance?
Look. Here's the thing: there is no such thing as ownership of the dance movement. I think you said it right. There was a threaten to action.
Yeah. They're gonna litigate. Like, well, I can't do this stuff at home. Like, I can't do the kangaroo dance in my closet.
Like, come on.
Like, I'm in there in my closet.
Don't get caught.
Like, bro, I don't care what anyone say. Like, the fact that she's patented this move, and the lawyers are coming out and saying that we're threatening to sue you due to you utilizing the kangaroo dance, and that being a misuse of Raygun's image is a giant problem in dancing, because there's so many dance moves in general that are passed down as classical thing. And I'm not gonna say that the kangaroo dance is a move that needs to get passed down. It is not. But it's just like, we've seen this many times, and for someone to say that I patent this move, like, it's like patenting the flare. Like, I can't do the flare on video. Like,
what? And I actually kind of have a counter to this. I know I keep switching sides on which side of the argument I'm on, but I think this actually could be something of interest potentially to certain dancers that really like despise biting, which is most of us. When you're talking about the image of a dancer and recognizability of a dancer, we all have signature moves, and if somebody's biting their signature moves, the whole scene calls them out, XYZ. If somebody owns a move, right, you can tell who owns the move. You can tell who claims the move.
But she didn't do it first. She didn't do it first.
Understandable. Understandable.
She didn't do it first.
Now, would anybody claim that move as a part of their image? No.
They already have.
The only one. I mean, does Flo really care? Do you care? I don't.
Flo, just say you care, man. Because, like, I don't want her to get away with this. She can't get away with it.
Ain't nobody want that move in it.
Nobody get away with it.
Nobody wants this move anyway. Now, look. If somebody, let's say Hong Ten decided to sue everybody that's done a Hong Ten since he created
that did the Hong Ten freeze.
Yes. Like, is that something? Obviously, somebody like Hong Ten, he's got notoriety off of people being able to do the move, and seems like he's freely enjoys people learning his move and things like that. But then you have several others who have created their move, and that's their move. They're using it in the competition. It's actively theirs at this time, and it's not passed on as the next base, right? It's not passed on as the next, learner's material or whatever. And so, is there space, or is there even a want or a need for some sort of like ownership of a move for a particular amount of time? Because we kind of do have that with copyrights. There's like a limited amount of time over numbers of like 30 or so years or whatever, where you can copyright or trademark something, and you have the rights to that thing over a limited period of time until a certain.
So how long will you have it for a dance move? That's the thing. How long can I say, yo, I own this kangaroo dance?
How long can you capitalize off a dance as a human being?
Well, I mean, I think it's more so based off of a law rather than, your market capitalization. But
but
dude.
I mean, it had to be based on something. So
the same thing is true with like, vaccines and stuff like that, like, or medication. Like after like 20 years, you have to release the patent so that other companies can make it.
And that's to promote the availability of it.
Yep.
Right. And I think the same thing can be said about new dance moves being created.
Yeah.
At a certain point, right, you're not going to be actively competing anymore. And why should that move have to die? Right? You should be able to pass it on.
The kangaroo dance deserves to die.
Well,
we're tired of seeing that move.
That one probably.
Guys, I am tired of talking about this
for the
woman.
next 20 years.
We believed in you.
But
no. I believed that she was going to try and take this whole thing and twist it and, run with it in a way where she can actually promote real breaking on her platform. She doubled down. She literally doubled down on trying to be the comedic thing. Like, don't act like I didn't see you do that kangaroo freeze, like with all the confetti falling in the background. Like, we seen it.
She's been making appearances specifically based on the reason that people laughed at her.
Yeah, so like, I mean, for the fact that, you're kind of getting mad and your legal team is threatening people to sue them because they want to make a theatrical performance of your F up on the global stage. Like, that is like unheard of.
I still can't believe she got this much attention.
And like, I mean, we have to like really give shine to like the dancers, but look, this is guys, I'm about to get mad.
I feel your pain.
This is why bad publicity is great publicity. Like the fact that she's always in the news forces us to have to talk about her, especially in this industry, which is still growing and it's really small and very niche. But the fact that there's someone who's always consistently, reoccurringly being brought up because of something, right, makes her relevant. Now, I don't know if she's gonna try and turn any of this around. Look, I was looking forward to seeing like maybe we could try and do something, or we're gonna all right, let's try and follow Raygun's story. But bro, like if this is where it's going, man, I don't want no part of it.
Yeah, she decided no more competitions. It's not worth it. Let me just get paid.
But I do want to get some of the perspectives of some of the other people who are in the breaking scene. People like Zach, Taekwon. We definitely need y'all on the podcast because I think y'all gave some very interesting thought onto like her doubling down. And just, I think the world deserves to kind of know like what was breaking like how were we able to get this on the global stage? How, what was the background? What did it look like, from a background perspective, like you're in the end and you're at the Olympics. I think people want to know about that, and I think that'd be really dope. So shout out to you guys because y'all really represented the scene and y'all really brought breaking. And shout out to Whitney. I'm really looking forward to you guys. So guys, the HotPot Breaking Games is coming up in 2025 and we're looking for sponsors. So if you are someone who owns a dance studio or someone who owns a school or some leader in the scene in itself in Texas, please reach out to us at www.thehotpotstudio.com. Send us a message and see how you can get involved in being one of the sponsors for the HotPot Breaking Games 2025.
big timing. And where it's going to be? H-Town.
Yeah, so the HotPot Breaking Games this time is going to be in Houston, Texas. It's a native Austin event, but we're bringing it to Houston. And hopefully with everything falling through, we're still getting some confirmations and stuff like that and how we're trying to plan this out. But we really want to see whether or not people want to do this 2v2 style or they want to do a 1v1. We want to try and bring kids battle to it as well. So we're really looking for like, you know, all of those different angles for it.
Sounds like we got some plans to put people on, man.
Oh, for sure.
Eesh.
So be on the lookout. We're looking to throw categories and the 2v2s again. So that'll be dope. And it looked like the 2v2 was a great success last year.
Commandos were encouraged and commandos were brought.
Well, people really loved the 2v2 category last year. So guys, if you are attending DreamCon, please be sure to also check in with us and just follow the channel so that you can get regular updates. So like, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, X, and any other platforms that may be coming to you in the future.
What's next?
All right. So apparently there was a drone. So apparently they're saying that, yeah, we're taking a sharp turn here, guys.
A drone with a very sharp turn.
Y'all don't want to know about this. But so apparently Iran, and this goes into, you know, what do we want to do with dancing in the future? Will any of this even matter? Because if we're stuck in World War III, bro, by the time 2025 roll around.
Oh, no. I didn't hear about this, so you're going to tell me what this is.
Yeah. So apparently that there's been a drone that Iran is what's, you know, being purported. This is not my words, but this is what's being said. Iran has been flying this drone around the East Coast above like cities like in areas like New Jersey and like even around like, I think they said like Trump's like golf course or places that he go to or whatever. But just other, like even over military bases. But it's being speculated that it's from Iran. And they had like footage of it, like actually like looking at like different properties and real estate and stuff like that. Like from some type of promotion that Iran had made. But anyways.
Do you know if it was remote or if it was like somebody locally controlling it?
I have no idea. But I think they said it was like the size of like a car. Like, I mean, but it's up there. And I don't know if you remember about that Chinese hot air balloon that flew from one side of the country to the other.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are speculating, like, you know, these enemies are getting like different images of the states and like kind of like getting ready to like gear up for an attack or something.
What do they need that for when they got Google Maps?
They're trying to test the defense system. Will you really get stopped if you fly a balloon over the United States? Apparently not. And it was eventually shot down, but it was after it already made its way all the way across the entire
y'all need to get these
country.
F-22s up in the sky, man, before these things be floating over soil, man.
Yeah. But, I mean, having a drone fly over the entire country or the East Coast is a little bit concerning. Like, people should shoot that down. Like, I think I would shoot one down if we had one flying.
At this point, we've got so much automated control of drones that oh man, you saw, I'm combining like 2 or 3 different technologies that have been recently put to use. But if you put combined drone tech, facial recognition tech, remote control, right? And you put a shotgun on that thing. Somebody.
No, so they already have this,
or
right?
A bomb or something like
no,
that.
they have this. They have, and in fact, it's been being used in the Ukrainian war with Russia.
Yeah.
There's lots of drones who have like these image, and that's actually one of the things that they had with that Iranian drone thing too. Like they had it locked on to Trump and what he was doing and stuff like that. But like what's happening in Ukraine is that they have some of these drones out in the battlefield and it's like following people around and it touches them or just gets within, you know, their vicinity and blows up.
Kamikaze drone.
Yeah.
Thing. Man,
So
I'm gonna tell you, technology is going to scary places at some point.
Yep. Which brings us to how will technology be used in breaking? Tech is being used in breaking in multiple different ways, different facets. Whether or not you're going to be using it to develop a business, or you're going to be using tech to develop, some type of automated program that can help you, run an event a lot more smoother, or even payments. So there is something called Sora AI, guys. And you guys probably don't know about it yet. And some of you guys probably do. But Sora AI is an AI software that turns text to movies or text to videos. And it's high quality, and
it looks crazy.
You literally can't tell apart the difference between the AI generated images or videos versus something in real life.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
And there are some glitches in it as well.
I mean, and even some of the glitches I saw were like kind of not noticeable if you weren't looking at them. Yeah.
If you're not, but some of them are obvious.
It's the movement is, I think, the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Me. But did you see Marquez made a whole review video based on Sora?
Yep, and he gave you the option of looking at one, AI generated image versus a real one, and which one is fake, which one is real, and you really couldn't tell which was which, right?
Yeah.
So Sora had made like its headway into this whole AI industry. Not even? I don't think it's been even a full year.
I don't know the history of Sora. I just remember them bringing it up and talking about it over the last year and a half, I think.
Yeah.
And it's always kind of been rumored as like, oh, this very powerful AI video creation tool, and this is how movies are going to be made in the future, and blah, blah, blah. And now people actually have access to it.
All y'all movie ninjas, it's a wrap.
CGI artists are over.
Which brings me to this. So the HotPot I shall be creating a movie using AI. Be on the lookout for that. But
you're going to be a film director?
Yes, I will be.
Oh, man.
But I've always wanted to get into film, but I thought this would probably be a really cool project to get into. But I won't give you too much into that. But I think with what's happening with AI and how it could be utilized in breaking, obviously payments, creating these tickets, QR code generated tickets and stuff like that, which I'm looking into possibly implementing into the next event. But seeing how people can do all this stuff, you really don't need like a third person or a middleman to like kind of like get some of these events rolling, right? So I think with like AI, man, it's kind of gonna like kind of boom the industry in a particular direction that I think I think it actually might make things a lot more feasible and available to the general public.
One thing I see with tech in the breaking community, if we're talking about, there's a couple of different things, right? If we're talking about events, we're still catching up to what major events are using. And I think that if you look at the major events, right, like basically Red Bull freestyle session, but really Red Bull.
Yeah.
The level of camera work, camera connection, and the whole production level of that, screens, when it comes to, I think using those judging systems where everything's recorded, right? All of those things are what we're using today. And I think those have elevated our ability to, number one, take history, elevate the look. And then obviously some people are using different payment systems and stuff like that. But what's like the next technological addition to like a breaking event or a breaker's kind of system and how they work? And I think
the next biggest thing, and you're already kind of seeing it now, is cryptocurrencies, guys. Take it from me, I think cryptocurrency is going to take over. I know it's a sensitive topic for you, Chaz. I know
it's not sensitive. It's just absurd. I want you to tell me how crypto is going to directly affect breaking.
So a lot of people, when they look at crypto, they look at it as, oh, I'm just investing and I'm making money, right? But what is crypto? And I do plan on implementing this sometime in the future, right? There's plans of me like creating an educational course on all of this, but crypto is just some type of monetary representation of technology on a blockchain. So that's what crypto really is. Now, so let's say, for instance, you have one XRP, right? XRP it's really efficient at payments. So, for instance, and this is some crypto news for you guys. RLUSD was just approved by the most critically like scrutinized financial institution of New York, right? But they pretty much approved of the use of RLUSD, which is a stable coin. It's a 1-to-1 peg for the US dollar. And if I can just send you money, right, from my phone directly to you without a bank, all of the transaction costs, all of the nostro vostro, all of the stuff that happens in the background is no longer a thing.
So again, this is me trying to figure out if I can connect the dots.
Yeah.
Because he ain't.
Go ahead and ask our question, man. Y'all go ahead and ask them questions.
Are you saying that, because there's conversations of event organizers, man, saying it costs a lot of money and it costs money to throw an event, breaking events kind of be on the low sometimes, blah, blah, blah. And if we're making payments through the bank, through whatever, and they're taking a little bit off the top, every single ticket that's purchased and all this other stuff, are you saying that we could just be paying direct?
Yep. Direct. And the thing is with crypto, you can generate these QR codes that, you can put on your websites or at the front desk or whatever on whatever product, and they just simply send, your payments directly to that. Now, more crypto news for you guys. So Donald Trump has implemented this plan to try and remove capital gains tax on any American-made crypto. So that means as far as, into his inauguration into 2025, if you have, a U.S. created crypto, you may potentially, possibly, may not have to pay capital gains tax on it. So that is big news.
Be a business of the future. Be a business of the future. And hopefully all the B-boys and B-girls are out there investing with their right mind and finding some things that are assets and growing value. Operating in assets, man, you might find yourself in a new place, in a new time, with a new bank account.
A new bank account. I think all of this is going to be really interesting, but we've already seen crypto, make tremendous moves in the market already, right? And looking into 2025, I think that there's so much to be optimistic about when it comes to the economies and economic value of what holding crypto could potentially look like. But these are the type of technologies that I think are going to be the next layer of what we kind of like used to look at the internet. Like, I think, we used to look at the internet like, oh man, I can do this small thing. And it doesn't really mean much, but a small few percentage of people would actually use the technology for, real use case purposes. And now, you have crypto being used in the similar fashion. So, like I was saying, you do the thing with payments on XRP or, XLM or some other payment enabled platform. And then you have Algorand, which is doing the smart contract. You can do these things where, you can generate interest based and actual fractional ownership of real estate and stuff like that. And also issue tickets, like customized tickets, which are collectible items, like in the form of NFTs and stuff like that, which
that's kind of an item really cool. I think that could really be cool. What are some of the things that we get from as commemorative items from jams? In the future, this might be one of those things. You can kind of showcase some digital piece of media that you might get from a jam in the future. And
Yep.
keep every single ticket that you have, with a particular hash, with your particular kind of coin attached to it.
Yeah. So you know how we were talking about how, there's some of these moves that are being digitized and they're, being used in that way. You can literally create an NFT of that, make a 10 of 10, right? And only 10 of these will be distributed, and you can make them, you can sell them. And then each of those have some type of monetary value attached to it. And then when you sell it, you could still earn even if someone else sell it to someone else.
So how long into the future until these are traded like old B-boy tapes at every gym?
That's a good question. But if it's gonna be utilized on the blockchain, one, we can kind of permanently or in an endless way kind of store all of these moves. We can even capitalize it in a way where we can say first person movers like originators of moves. We can actually have that tied to NFTs and track it with the blockchain and stuff like that.
Keep a history. And keep a history of who passed the move on.
Yeah, and that's how we can actually look at how breaking could be used by technology.
Dang. Well, how many breakers have you talked to that are investing and have invested in crypto? That's I think an interesting.
I've spoken to a few, and I mean, more prominently, I think I've tried convincing a lot of people in Rad. But I've
on the next level, man.
Yeah, but I've went back and forth with Rocks, right? And I've had this long history of just research, and coming from a tech background myself, I just kind of like doing some of these things. So I have this perspective into it that I'm willing to have that conversation with anyone. So
betting on the future.
Yeah. So, and I think I've even spoken to Cross One about this before. But I think the next thing that'll really take crypto further is regulation. Once we actually start getting some laws and how certain things could be used and how it can interconnect with the banks,
Business
I think
will be more comfortable with it.
Yeah. And I think, I think the development of some of these networks would be a little bit more widespread in a way where people are like, okay, I can really use this now. I can let me actually develop this without the fear of me getting sued.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Breaking right now is still catching up with other events. If we jump on the forefront of this whole other thing, either we jump in front of it or we got to catch up. So it's one or the other. I had a question. We were on the topic of AI and moves and originators of moves and things like that. At what point are we going to use AI to come up with the next power move? The next piece of breaking? Are we just going to be prompting AI to be like, hey, create me a new set of footwork?
You mean asking the robot to really create something for you?
Create new footwork.
Make this new footwork for me.
Hey, put together my round for BC1 so I can win.
Well, I mean, I
to analyze the round.
Yeah. I think, and we broke this down in a way earlier episode. Break down moves to a way where you can try and optimize your rounds and stuff like that. But also trying to make some of these new moves. I think a way that it could be used in that way is simulation, and learning, which is crazy because if we, hey, how do I do a double air track? Right. Bro. And we've seen Iron Monkey come very close, right? If he had a simulation model that, he let's say he recorded himself and then he went about it, AI can literally, tweak his movements in a way where it's okay, you have to close your legs by this much more centimeters. And then this will actually increase your rotational speed by, 5%. And by doing that, you'll at least be able to make your second turn. And, voila, you've got your double air track, right? So it's definitely something that's going to have to be a back and forth type of training. Yeah. But the fact that we will have that opportunity to do that is insane.
I'm going to tell you, I was watching a channel that was playing some old Nickelodeon cartoons one day, super nostalgic. It had all that on. It had.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That some of that stuff be like.
It'd be so fire.
It be making me sad, man.
Oh no!
I'm like,
all the commercials and everything. I was like, I remember that.
I know they be having the commercials with the show, so like it brings you back to that nostalgia.
I'll
feeling.
be sipping on Capri Suns. Yeah.
Hey, wait, who's this man? Get out of here, bro.
Nah, but believe it or not, in like 1999, Rocket Power had an episode on this very topic, using computer simulations to figure out the next craziest skateboard or BMX move, and actually competing at a competition with that. Like, if you don't believe me, look it up. Like, 1999, Rocket Power had an episode about this. Like,
this man got good memory.
Is it possible?
This man got good memory.
Man, one of these days, man, somebody gonna be doing some crazy next level move, and it's gonna be AI created, AI generated.
I feel like there's something like this on Dexter Laboratory.
Gotta be.
I feel like there's something like this.
I mean, all these dreams coming to reality. I mean, we had the Jetsons with the. We got it.
Yeah, steal the wallet and then go down the space. Yeah, but anyways, that wraps up the episode for today, guys. Third time to try. Turn it off. So, guys, thank you again for joining us today on the HotPot podcast. And also, be sure to tune into the HotPotStudio.com to check out your favorite merch and stream your favorite episodes, listen to your favorite episodes, and also give us a message. Anything else you want to say?
I think I'm going to go get me another t-shirt, bro.
I think so. Me too.
That red color was tight.
I got to get me another red too. I think I ended up losing it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate you guys. You guys are the best audience on earth. Check us out once again at the HotPotStudio.com. Shop for your favorite merch, stream your favorite episodes, and also connect with us and send us a few messages because we appreciate that too.